Hi everyone, this is Safwan Isruna from IELTS Writing Prep. I'd like to welcome you all to this online lesson. Today we're going to be taking a look at an opinion question. Okay, it's is this a positive or negative development type of a question? Okay, let's get right to the question itself. So, we have countries are becoming more and more similar because people are able to buy the same product anywhere in the world. So this is given to us as a fact, okay, and then we are asked for our opinion about this. A common mistake is candidates think that they need to agree or disagree with this. Now, if this was a requirement of the task, we wouldn't be able to answer the second part, which is, do you think this is a positive or negative development? So if we've already disagreed with this statement and said that it isn't true, how can we answer the second half? So we need to accept this as a fact. Okay. The main focus in this essay is going to be our opinion on the statements given. Okay, so we have, do you think this is a positive or negative development? Okay. There is a lot of disagreement and debate as to whether you need to write about both sides, the positive and the negative. Now, if you really want to write a developed response, it will be a lot easier if you take a look at both sides. You would have a lot more to write about. However, it's not really a requirement, because if you didn't know about any of the negative sides of something or the positive sides of something, you wouldn't be penalized for doing so. So it is actually even possible to state in the thesis statement that you believe it is a positive development or you believe it is a negative development, and you are not aware of any negatives or you're not aware of any positives, for example. So I think it's easier to develop a question if you look at both sides, and I think if you're aiming for 7+ and 8+, it would be a better idea to do so. Okay, now what else do we have? Give reasons for your answer. So it's not just enough for us to say that we believe it's positive or we believe that it's a negative development. We need to back this up with reasons. And not just that, we need to also give examples. Okay, so it is common for candidates to give reasons without examples, and when you do that, you're not really addressing the requirements of the task. Okay, in addition to that, of course, we have the 250 words. Okay, so this is a requirement that you fulfill. Now, regarding the background statement, okay, there are some ex-examiners and writers in the IELTS world that believe that you need to write about the background statement. Now, I think this is a requirement for a band 8 and not a requirement for a band 7. Okay, I'm going to be talking about a band 8 approach towards the end, a band 8 task achievement approach towards the end of the video. Now, let's take a look at some, and I say some, of the positions that you might take. Okay, there are probably limitless numbers of positions that you could take. Here are just some of the ones that I thought of myself. Okay, so we could state our position, our opinion could be that countries becoming more similar is a positive development. Of course, it could be a negative development. Okay. Or we could take the position that it has both the positives and the negatives. So it could have a balance of both. Okay. And we also could say that that the negatives are more than the positives. Or we could say that the positives of countries becoming similar outweigh the negatives. Okay, we could say that countries becoming more similar is a positive development. However, there is a minor negative, or we could say the opposite. So, you can choose whatever opinion or whatever position you want to choose. Now, the question is, what is the best opinion? What is the best position for you to take? Now, the answer to that is the position that is the easiest for you to take, and that will depend upon your ideas. So, the first thing that you need to do is you need to brainstorm ideas. Brainstorm the positives. Brainstorm the negatives. And now, you might ask me why I would brainstorm before I choose my position. Okay. It's very common for candidates to take a position and then halfway through the essay they run out of ideas or they don't know how to back their position up. Now when you're halfway there, it's very difficult to change your position or to erase the whole of the essay and to start again. It's easier to be sure upon your position before you start than to start and then get stuck halfway. Okay, and what I see happen, very commonly is that people choose the position, they can't back up their position, and they start to panic halfway. When you panic, that's it. Goodbye creativity. So that's why it is important. Another reason why it's important to brainstorm before choosing the position is that you might choose ideas that you're not able to support equally. So you choose one idea, you write about it, and then you get to the second idea and you don't have any ways of supporting it. If you do that, you might be stuck with with unbalanced body paragraphs. One paragraph that you are covering very well and another paragraph that you aren't. And this will limit your task achievement mark to a 6. So this is a real, band mark killer. If you do that, you might be really limited to a band 6 in task achievement. Okay, you don't really want to do that. Okay, so now after you've brainstormed these ideas, see what you have ideas to support and take a position in accordance with the ideas that you have. A possible approach. Okay, now this is the position. Countries becoming more similar has both positives and negatives. So this is a very balanced approach. All I have to do is state that in the thesis statement, dedicate one body paragraph to positives, one body paragraph to the negatives. Now, I'm not saying you should do that. You should probably only do that if you know about positives and negatives of the situation. If you don't know about that, there would be no point following an approach like that because you will get stuck halfway. And the only way out would to go off topic, and that would totally destroy not just task achievement, but that would also destroy cohesion and coherence, because you've made a statement and then you have just contradicted it. Okay, goodbye band 7. You will be stuck there with 2 6s, and the only way to get to band 7 would be to get 2 8s. Okay, and that's difficult. It's easier to get 4 7s than to get 2 8s and and 2 6s. Okay, and the conclusion, I have a great video for conclusions, if I may say so myself. Feel free to watch it on the IELTS Writing Prep YouTube channel. Yeah, which is, of course, we're going to rephrase the thesis statement and summarize the main points in the conclusion. Of course, it's important that you do not contradict yourself within the conclusion or add any new points within it. Conclusions are not for adding new ideas. Okay, so this is the Band 8 task achievement approach. Now, I don't recommend this. I don't recommend this, especially if you're a slow writer and you find it difficult to complete in time. Also, if you have problem with repetition, it means you're going to have to write more. Now, to really sufficiently cover all of the requirements of the task, you would need to write about the background statement in a separate body paragraph. Now, how would you do that? You would need to give reasons why the background statement is true. So we're going to support this, okay, in a separate body paragraph. I think the most suitable place for this would be, after the introduction, you start a new body paragraph, and the first body paragraph, give 2 reasons why the background statement is true, and then continue to answer your question as normal. So here is, just a possible Band-Aid approach. So we have our thesis statement, as I stated earlier on. We have body paragraph 1, 2 reasons why the statements that countries are becoming more similar is true. Okay, so it might be this is evident in the use of mobile phones, or whatever ideas you can come up with. Okay, body paragraph 2, 2 positives, because we did state it had positives and negatives. And body paragraph 3, 2 negatives. Now this will take time, and it could make you make more grammatical mistakes and more lexical mistakes. Also, it could cause you to repeat words. So only take this approach if you have the ability to do so. There is no point going for a Band 8 in task achievement and then ending up with a Band 6 for lexical resource and a Band 6 for grammatical range and accuracy. This approach is not for everybody. Okay, and the conclusion as usual. Okay, so after you've done that, I want you to brainstorm. You should be brainstorming your vocabulary, making sure you have the vocabulary ready. Also, you could brainstorm phrases instead. You don't just have to rephrase vocabulary. You could rephrase whole statements, whole sentences. Okay, this is your homework for the lesson. Brainstorm ideas for vocabulary. Write a position, a thesis statement, ideas for body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and a quick plan. If you're planning for a Band 8 task achievement, good for you. You could also include your idea for that. Thanks for watching. To watch more videos like this, you can go to the YouTube channel, IELTS Writing Prep. For information how to contact Michael Chambers, you can visit him on IELTS Writing Tips. For information about his private online tuition and so on. And the same for me, you can visit facebook.com/IELTS Writing Prep. Thanks for watching.